Heartbreaking reality, the unending cycle of crime. It's with a heavy heart that I write this post today, my dear friends. As we look around the world, it's impossible to ignore the overwhelming presence of crime that plagues our societies. It's a sad truth that we must confront, for only by understanding the root causes can we hope to bring about change. Crime, in all its forms, is a reflection of the deep-seated issues that afflict our world. Poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunities often push individuals into desperate situations, where they feel compelled to resort to criminal activities just to survive. It's a vicious cycle that perpetuates itself, leaving countless lives shattered in its wake. The absence of proper education and guidance further exacerbates the problem. When individuals are denied access to quality education, they are robbed of the chance to develop essential life skills, critical thinking abilities, and empathy towards others. Without these foundations, it becomes increasingly difficult to break free from the clutches of crime. Moreover, the influence of external factors cannot be ignored. The media bombards us with images of violence, glamorizing criminal behavior and blurring the lines between right and wrong. This constant exposure desensitizes us, making it easier for crime to become an accepted norm rather than an aberration. The breakdown of social structures and support systems also plays a significant role. When communities are fragmented, and individuals feel isolated, they are more susceptible to falling into the clutches of crime. The absence of strong familial bonds, mentorship, and positive role models leaves a void that criminal elements are all too eager to fill. But amidst this sea of despair, we must remember that change is possible. By addressing the underlying causes of crime, we can begin to break this devastating cycle. It starts with providing equal opportunities for all, ensuring access to quality education, and fostering a sense of community and belonging. Let us come together, my friends, to support initiatives that empower individuals, uplift communities, and create a society where crime is no longer the only option. Together, we can rewrite the narrative and build a world where hope, compassion, and understanding prevail. Please, let's not turn a blind eye to the suffering around us. Let's be the catalysts for change, the voices that speak up against injustice, and the hands that reach out to those in need. Together, we can make a difference and bring an end to this terrible sadness that engulfs our world. It is a deeply distressing reality that we cannot ignore, for lives are being lost, families shattered, and communities torn apart by this senseless violence. The reasons behind the prevalence of killing are complex and multifaceted. Deep-rooted hatred, fueled by intolerance, prejudice, and ignorance, often drives individuals to commit acts of violence against their fellow human beings. The inability to see beyond our differences, to embrace diversity, and to find common ground only perpetuates this tragic cycle. Societal factors also contribute to this heartbreaking epidemic. Poverty, inequality, and the lack of access to basic resources can breed desperation and hopelessness, pushing individuals to resort to violence as a means of survival or as a misguided expression of power. The absence of proper mental health support and resources further exacerbates the situation, leaving many feeling isolated and without the help they desperately need. The proliferation of weapons and the ease with which they can be obtained cannot be overlooked either. The presence of firearms and other deadly weapons in the wrong hands only amplifies the devastating consequences of conflicts, disputes, and personal grievances. It is a chilling reminder of the urgent need for stricter regulations and comprehensive measures to prevent the senseless loss of life. In a world where violence is often sensationalized and glorified, the media plays a significant role in perpetuating this cycle of killing. The constant exposure to graphic images and stories of violence desensitizes us, numbing our empathy and blurring the line between right and wrong. It is a tragic consequence of a society that prioritizes shock value over compassion and understanding. But amidst this sea of despair, we must not lose hope. We must stand together, united in our commitment to creating a world where killing is no longer the answer. It starts with fostering empathy, promoting education, and advocating for peaceful resolutions to conflicts. We must invest in mental health support, address the root causes of violence, and work towards building a society that values every single life. Let us not turn a blind eye to the pain and suffering around us. Let us be the voices of reason, the advocates for change, and the champions of peace. Together, we can strive for a world where killing becomes a distant memory and compassion and understanding prevail. The heart-wrenching reality of child abuse today. My heart weighs heavy as I confront the distressing truth that child abuse continues to plague our world. It is an unspeakable tragedy that innocent lives are subjected to unimaginable pain and suffering, leaving scars that may never fully heal. We must face this heartbreaking reality head-on, for only by acknowledging it can we begin to work towards a safer and more nurturing environment for our children. Child abuse stems from a multitude of factors, each more devastating than the last. Deep-seated issues such as poverty, substance abuse, and mental health challenges often contribute to an environment where children are vulnerable and at risk. The absence of proper support systems and resources further compounds the problem, leaving many children without the protection and care they so desperately need. The cycle of abuse is perpetuated by a lack of awareness and education. Many individuals may not recognize the signs of abuse or may be hesitant to intervene due to fear or a lack of understanding. This silence only allows the abuse to continue, leaving countless children trapped in a cycle of pain and despair. The impact of media and technology cannot be ignored either. The rise of online platforms has opened new avenues for exploitation and abuse, with predators preying on vulnerable children from the shadows. The anonymity and reach of the internet make it increasingly difficult to protect our children from harm, highlighting the urgent need for stricter regulations and increased vigilance. But amidst this heart-wrenching reality, we must not lose hope. We must come together as a society to protect and nurture our children, for they are our future. It starts with raising awareness, educating ourselves and others about the signs of abuse, and creating safe spaces where children can speak up without fear of retribution. We must advocate for stronger child protection laws, ensuring that those who perpetrate these heinous acts face the full force of justice. We must provide support and resources for survivors, offering them a path towards healing and recovery. And most importantly, we must foster a culture of empathy, compassion, and love, where every child feels valued, protected, and cherished. Let us not turn a blind eye to the pain and suffering endured by countless children. Let us be their voices, their advocates, and their protectors. Together, we can create a world where child abuse becomes a thing of the past, and every child can grow up in an environment filled with love, safety, and hope. Please, my friends, let us join hands and work. The devastating triad, drugs, guns, and violence today. I find myself grappling with a profound sadness as I reflect upon the destructive triad that plagues our world: drugs, guns, and violence. It is a heart-wrenching reality that these elements intertwine, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. We must confront this harsh truth head-on, for only by understanding the interconnectedness can we hope to break free from their grip. The illicit drug trade fuels a vicious cycle of violence, tearing apart communities and destroying lives. The demand for drugs creates a lucrative market, leading to territorial disputes, gang warfare, and an alarming increase in violent crime. Innocent lives are caught in the crossfire, families shattered, and futures stolen away. The easy availability of guns exacerbates this already dire situation. Firearms, whether obtained legally or through illicit means, become tools of destruction in the hands of those driven by desperation, greed, or a distorted sense of power. The presence of guns escalates conflicts, turning disputes into deadly encounters and perpetuating a cycle of violence that seems impossible to break. The consequences of this deadly triad ripple through society, leaving no one untouched. Families are torn apart as loved ones fall victim to addiction, gun violence, or both. Communities live in fear, trapped in a cycle of violence that stifles growth, hampers progress, and robs individuals of their sense of security and well-being. But amidst this darkness, we must not lose hope. We must come together as a society to address the root causes of this devastating triad. It starts with education and prevention, equipping individuals with the knowledge and tools to make informed choices and resist the allure of drugs and violence. We must invest in rehabilitation and support systems, providing those struggling with addiction the resources they need to break free from the grip of drugs. Stricter gun control measures and comprehensive background checks can help curb the easy access to firearms, reducing the potential for violence. Furthermore, we must address the underlying social issues that contribute to the perpetuation of this triad. Poverty, inequality, and lack of opportunities often drive individuals towards drugs and violence as a means of escape or survival. By addressing these systemic issues, we can create a society that offers hope, support, and alternative paths to a brighter future. Let us not turn a blind eye to the devastating impact of drugs, guns, and violence. Let us be the catalysts for change. How we can collectively work towards fixing the darkness that seems to loom over our world. It's no secret that we are facing numerous challenges, but together, we can make a difference and bring about positive change. Let's dive into some detailed ideas on how we can illuminate the world and create a brighter future for all. Keycap 1. Education. Education is the key to unlocking a better future. By investing in quality education for all, we can empower individuals to make informed decisions, challenge prejudices, and foster a more inclusive society. Let's support initiatives that provide equal access to education, promote critical thinking, and encourage empathy. Keycap 2. Environmental consciousness. Our planet is in dire need of our attention. By adopting sustainable practices, reducing our carbon footprint, and promoting renewable energy sources, we can combat climate change and preserve our beautiful Earth for future generations. Let's spread awareness, support eco-friendly initiatives, and make conscious choices in our daily lives. Keycap 3. Empathy and kindness. In a world that often feels divided, let's prioritize empathy and kindness. By practicing compassion towards one another, we can bridge gaps, break down barriers, and foster a sense of unity. Small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same and creating a more harmonious society. Keycap 4. Social justice. We must stand up against injustice and work towards creating a fair and equitable world. Let's advocate for equal rights, challenge systemic discrimination, and support organizations fighting for justice. By amplifying marginalized voices and addressing societal inequalities, we can build a more just and inclusive society. Keycap 5. Mental health awareness. Mental health is an essential aspect of overall well-being. Let's break the stigma surrounding mental health, promote open conversations, and ensure access to mental health resources for all. By prioritizing mental well-being, we can create a supportive environment where everyone feels valued and understood. Keycap 6. Global collaboration. Fixing the world requires global collaboration. Let's come together, regardless of borders or differences, to address global challenges such as poverty, hunger, and disease. By fostering international cooperation, sharing resources, and supporting initiatives that uplift communities worldwide, we can make a significant impact. Remember, change starts with us. Each one of us has the power to make. It's understandable that many of us feel frustrated and angry about the state of affairs, but let's channel that energy into positive action and work towards creating a more peaceful and harmonious world. Here are some detailed suggestions on how we can transform anger into positive change. Keycap 1. Open dialogue. Instead of letting anger divide us further, let's engage in open and respectful dialogue. By actively listening to different perspectives, we can foster understanding and find common ground. Let's create spaces where people can express their frustrations constructively, promoting empathy and unity. Keycap 2. Education and awareness. Anger often stems from misunderstandings and lack of knowledge. Let's invest in education and awareness campaigns that address the root causes of anger, such as inequality, injustice, and systemic issues. By promoting understanding and empathy, we can reduce anger and build bridges between communities. Keycap 3. Peaceful activism. Anger can be a powerful motivator for change. Let's channel our anger into peaceful activism, advocating for causes that align with our values. By organizing peaceful protests, signing petitions, and supporting organizations working towards positive change, we can make our voices heard and drive meaningful transformation. Keycap 4. Emotional well-being. It's crucial to prioritize our emotional well-being and find healthy ways to manage anger. Let's encourage self-care practices, such as mindfulness, meditation, and therapy, to help individuals cope with anger and promote emotional resilience. When we take care of ourselves, we can better contribute to a more peaceful world. Keycap 5. Promote empathy and kindness. Anger often arises from a lack of empathy and understanding. Let's actively promote empathy and kindness in our daily lives. By practicing random acts of kindness, showing compassion towards others, and seeking to understand different perspectives, we can create a more compassionate and tolerant society. Keycap 6. Collaborative solutions. Instead of blaming and pointing fingers, let's focus on collaborative solutions. By working together across communities, organizations, and governments, we can address the root causes of anger and find sustainable solutions. Let's foster partnerships that promote peace, equality, and justice. Remember, anger can be a catalyst for positive change if we channel it wisely. Let's transform our anger into actions that uplift and unite us. In times like these, it's more important than ever to come together as a community and lend a helping hand to those in need. Whether it's a small act of kindness or a grand gesture, every effort counts and can make a significant impact on someone's life. So, let's brainstorm and share ideas on how we can support each other during these challenging times. Here are a few suggestions to get us started. Keycap 1. Check in on your neighbors. Reach out to those living nearby, especially the elderly or vulnerable individuals, to see if they need any assistance with groceries, medication, or even just a friendly chat. Let's make sure no one feels isolated or forgotten. Keycap 2. Share resources. If you come across any helpful information, such as job opportunities, mental health support, or educational resources, please share them with the community. Together, we can empower each other with knowledge and opportunities. Keycap 3. Support local businesses. Many small businesses are struggling right now. Let's make a conscious effort to support them by ordering takeout, purchasing gift cards, or leaving positive reviews online. Our support can make a huge difference in their survival. Keycap 4. Donate to charities. If you're in a position to do so, consider donating to local charities or organizations that are working tirelessly to provide aid to those affected by the current situation. Every contribution, no matter how small, can help change lives. Keycap 5. Offer your skills. We all have unique talents and skills. If you have expertise in a particular area, consider offering your services to those who may benefit from them. Whether it's tutoring, resume building, or even virtual fitness classes, your skills can make a positive impact. Remember, helping others not only benefits those in need but also brings immense joy and fulfillment to our own lives. Let's create a ripple effect of kindness and compassion that spreads far and wide. Together, we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. Please feel free to share your own ideas, stories, or experiences of helping others in the comments below. Let's inspire and motivate each other to continue making a difference.